just to go back to the General Huda, in an area like this, as Amitabh was explaining, you've got the Betab Valley there. Lots of people come there, flock there. The meadows are lovely, green, lush. This is spring. People having lunches, the tourists from all over India coming. Is it not possible to secure these zones, or do you believe it's impossible beyond the point to secure every inch of land in the Kashmir Valley?
Rajdeep, beyond a point, it's impossible to secure every inch. Practically, I'm saying this. What also happens, and I'm sure you have reported about it, very large presence of security forces in tourist areas. And then there are complaints. There is overwhelming presence of security forces. It's sort of stifling us. So, I mean, there is always a balance to be maintained. And every time an incident happens, as I said, we wish it could have been preventable. And this valley is huge. I mean, there are large number of picnic spots and everything. Mm-hmm. And if everywhere you have people in uniform, I mean, it's reported. People are saying it looks stifling that we have so much presence of security forces. So whenever an incident happens, I'm sure questions like this will be asked, and they should be analyzed as to whether it could have been prevented. But to think that you can have boots on the ground everywhere, I think, honestly, is not possible.
Amitabh Bhattu, there was a sense, particularly when the Omar Abdullah government took over in October, it would be the first step to another major step towards restoration of normalcy. Presumably, normalcy cannot be restored as long as you have a rogue nation across the border sending in terrorists. So the limitations, in a way, seem to have got cruelly exposed by what this terrible, tragic incident today.
Yeah, the limitations of normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir will always be defined by the state of Pakistan. Pakistan today is in deep turmoil, and as long as it is in deep turmoil, it will try and create a turmoil in India, at least in Jammu and Kashmir. What I, however, want to suggest also, Rajdeep, is that we don't need more boots on the ground. Today, we have electronic intelligence. You can have drones, you can have other forms of satellite imagery. Something like Bhaisar, and if there were six TRF or Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists, could have been caught in any imaging, real-time imaging, given the fact that it's a tourist hub. All I'm suggesting is that we need not reduce or in any way compromise on our security vigil and our intelligence vigil. It doesn't mean that you need more forces on the ground. You have adequate forces on the ground. You need to use them better. You need to use technology. You need to use leverage technology in a way that you can capture real-time intelligence. And it is possible to do so given the tools that we have at our disposal.
Let's look at responses. As the US Vice President Vance, who's in Jaipur on a personal visit now, has condoled the Pahalgam attack deaths. It reminds me, remember when Bill Clinton was coming to India all those years ago, there was that terrible attack just on the eve of that visit in Chittis Singhpura. Clearly, terrorists often use these occasions to get more mileage, a global mileage, and that could be, of course, one of the factors given the timing. But responses, how should one respond, Manoj Joshi? We've seen when, for example, attacks took place on a security camp in Uri, we had surgical strikes in response. Are those credible responses that will deter Pakistan? Do we need to find something which is far more durable and sends out a real deterrent effect?
Well, this is the dilemma we've been facing in Kashmir. At one level, we have reduced the number, reduced the number of civilian casualties from about 1,000 in 2001 down to 31 last year. So there is a sense of complacency also coming, saying that we are on top of the situation. So this breeds a sense of complacency, and so therefore areas like Pahalgam, which have not known a terrorist incident for a long time, tend to get ignored. See, now in terms of deterrence, it's true that we need to hit back every time this happens. But that we did that in the case of Pulwama. We did that in the case of Uri. There, the fingerprints were much clearer, and the attacks were on the armed forces. Here, the attacks have been on civilians. The fingerprints are not that clear, though you and I know Pakistan is involved. But yes, hitting back,
Right.
and the deterrent capability to deter, you must hit back every time it happens.